Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny? What's going on, people? What's good, people? It is the day of another day. Of another day that we call Monday. And it would have been said, what's going to, people? As you see, I'm still here with you. Oh my goodness. You know, it's so funny because a lot of times, you know, you be so tired, you be sleepy and stuff, and you can't never sleep. And, you know, I was supposed to go to the doctor today, but I didn't go. I was going to go, you know, go to the doctor for, you know, for not sleeping. You know, the thing about it is that, you know, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to go to the doctor like a lot. And she told me that I was stressed out, and she told me I need to start going jogging. She called me a hypochondriac. I was like, what exactly are you trying to say? Anyway, it's sad. But like I said before, thank you, and I love you, and I thank you for rocking with me and stuff, you know, through my time of, you know, as me through my good things, the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and as far as me and my crazy hairdos and my hairstyles, and, you know, just rocking with me and stuff, and, you know, taking our time to be a part of my life, because, you know, you really don't have to, but, you know, you choose to. I always want you to know that you appreciate it, you know, especially when I let you know that I love you. I always let you know I love you because I told you this before. The reason why I let you know that I love you because a lot of times nobody don't say it. If you are the kind of person, somebody said I love you today, just put a 1. If nobody didn't say I love you today, put a 0. And I'm not talking about me. I'm just asking you a question today. And this is something that I want you to think about. If you are a person that somebody said they love you besides me, put a 1. If nobody told you they love you today, put a 0. And I'm not saying, but of course you know I'm going to say it, but I'm just saying. I just want to know, I just want to see the scores, and I want everyone to look at the love that we share in this world. Anyway, okay, the story at hand is we have a transgender woman. Her name is Christine Garcia. She's 32 years old. And guess what? She's a police officer. Here she is right here. You see her? Very beautiful woman. She's the first transgender police officer in San Diego. Now, she decided to tell the people at the police department back in July 2015, which is 3 days back of this week, that she basically came out, but then she finally transitioned in November, and, you know, she started a transition and stuff. Now, she didn't have a problem being a transgender woman, and she, you know, as far as her family knowing and stuff, she wouldn't have a problem, much of a problem. But she was very concerned about her colleagues because she was going from masculine to feminine. And, you know, when you're a police officer, you're supposed to be tough and stuff like that. You know, you're supposed to show signs of, you know, I guess strength, because you don't want nobody showing up to come protect you and they're afraid for themselves. You know, the sad part about it. I know a few cops that is like a nervous wreck, but, a few sergeants, in fact, you know, this is not funny. You know, like I said, you know how I am. We talked about this before. I have a lot of friends that are cops. I have a lot of friends that are felons. I don't understand the thing here, but I know a lot of cops and a lot of felons. Anyway, I also know a lot of bounty hunters. Anyway, so Christine was worried about her colleagues and stuff, you know, as far as her transition and stuff, where they perceive her the same way, you know, where they treat her differently or look down on her, but she had a positive experience. They gave her nothing but support. And this is from the San Diego Police Department. Okay, now I just want to shoot you a little video over so you get an idea of her talking, you know, the interaction and how does she moves, and, you know, just to see a woman that's doing her thing, that's not just a person who's telling the story. She wants you to see how she lived the story.
On any given day, Christine Garcia is prepared to respond to the worst as an accident investigation officer for the San Diego Police Department.
And you can hold that perimeter. We have the...
But under the badge is a 32-year-old officer who has struggled with gender identity for years.
I knew I was different since I was a child. Being very young, I didn't know quite what I was going through. I didn't quite know why I felt this way.
In July 2015, Garcia announced to the department that she is transgender.
I was really having a rough time with it. I didn't know of any other transgender officers. And I didn't know that you could be transgender and be a police officer. Maybe they don't have a license.
In an unprecedented step for an officer in San Diego, Garcia first came out to Dan Meyer, the LGBT liaison sergeant for the department.
This was definitely a first for the San Diego Police Department. I knew kind of going into this that we were going to have to kind of set the standard. We just wanted to make sure that we were doing everything we could to make sure her process was what she wanted it to look like.
The hardest part of her transition from Chris to Christine was not having to tell her family, but having to tell other officers.
Telling 1,800 officers that I'm transgender and not knowing how they were going to treat me was my biggest obstacle. I really didn't know if I was going to lose all respect from them, because here I was going from masculine to feminine in a primarily masculine profession.
But what she described as an irrational fear was put to rest when a flood of support from other officers, some of whom she'd never spoken to before, commended her for coming out.
A lot of them came to me and said, you know what, you're a good cop, and that's all that matters, is that you're a good cop. It was very inspiring to me. It showed me that I really can be a cop, and I can be transgender, and it really is okay.
Finally coming out to her peers opened new doors for her.
Christine, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Both during and after her transition, she often looked to the center, a place for LGBT community members for support.
Everybody deserves to be treated respectfully.
Now she's hoping to offer that support to others.
Christine was really a great proponent of herself and the transgender community in opening up herself to questions and clarification with regard to what a transgender individual is and experiences.
When we talk about them being a victim.
And really, Christine has become a voice for the transgender community.
Being the first was not easy.
And she plans to use that voice to help others who might be going through a similar process.
It's so painful for me.
I took it upon myself to get involved in the community because I care about my community. It's the community that I work for. I know there are others out there like me, and I also want to be there to help them through their process if they choose to come out.
Miss Garcia, I salute you. Thank you. This is she went from Chris to Christina. And the thing about it is that I salute you and thank you for being a positive influence and showing these girls out here in the world, as far as myself, that we can do this. And, and like I said before, it is a process. Even with you're gay or you trans or, you bi, whatever the case may be, if you want to start living in your truth and telling your story and stuff, it is a process. Now, me, myself, as far as my message when I tell people, because people talk to me a lot of times about transition and stuff, and, they're like, Raven, I'm about to do it, I'm about to do it. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if anybody told you, but I'm going to tell you as your big sis. It has to go at your time, at your speed, your way. What did you say, Raven? Say it again. It has to go at your time, at your speed, at your way. We can listen to people who transition and stuff. We kind of get encouraged and stuff. But that's okay for them. It has to be done your way, at your time, at your speed. Because you may not be ready yet. A lot of times we make it that, like, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And you're like, oh my God, I'm not ready. That's why you have to wait until it's your time. You'll get there. And so maybe you just never get there. Sometimes you may say, you know what, I'm all right where I'm at. I'll just be trans on the weekend and I'll go back to this way. And that's okay too. But you won't be trans, but you just be, you just be flip-flopping. I used to do that before. I used to flip-flop. On the weekends I was Raven, and on the weekdays I was... I was about to make a joke, but it's not funny. But, it's what it is. Like I said before, it takes time. It's a process, and you need to do it your way at your time. Even if you're gay, you may not want to tell people that you're gay, or if you're lesbian, you might not want to tell people you're lesbian. If you want to share the information with other people and stuff, and as far as being empowering and stuff, and me per se, I don't do things as far as being empowering, as far as being, what's it called, a rebel. You know, and it's amazing because I don't, you know that trans visibility. I need to let people know I'm trans out here in the world. I don't do that. You know why? Because I don't need to prove nothing to nobody. And I understand people say, well, you know, we're showing visibility. That's okay if that's what you want to do. I don't knock that. That's your thing. Go for it. Me, myself, I feel as though for me to do that, I need to prove myself. Look at visibility. I don't have to do that. Because when I'm comfortable within myself, I don't care who knows. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. And I don't care. And I don't need to prove to people that I'm trans visibility. That's my opinion. Because you're already going to know me because I'm 6 foot tall. And I don't care. When I start caring, I have to show this to you, I don't care. And that's my whole thing within myself, within my transition. I don't feel as though I need to go out and try to prove to people that this is what I am. Let's say when I go for a job interview and stuff, I'm like, you'll figure it out after a while. I'm not going to tell you, you'll figure it out. I'm like, it's not what I need to do. This is my thing within me. You know, I don't need to tell you. You'll figure it out. There's too many things on me that you can figure it out. So you figure it out. And if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. I could care less. Your opinion of me is none of my business. Which they better say it again. Your opinion of me is none of my business. My opinion of myself is very important to me. You know, this is something to think about. You know, a lot of girls I know that's even on this channel talking about transitioning. And I'm going to tell you, like I said before, you do it at your way, your time, and your speed. Don't let nobody influence you, because when you do it your way, you're not going to turn around. It'll be done your way. Anyway, I just thought I'd give it a little positive feedback as reference to her, Christine Garcia, Miss Garcia doing her thing, you know, living her life, living her truth. So thank you for being a positive influence as far as being visual and trying to help other girls come out of their shells as being true to them. Anyway, that being said, I just want to get it out there. Anyway, I want to say hello to my dogs. Meow. I want to say hello to my kids. Woo. I want to say hello new people. Boom. I want to say old people fam. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. What you to do, I want you to do the best way that you can. And if nobody likes it, then fuck them.